Jack, we've been watching the Olympics, and I've been watching the Olympics the last few days, and the interviewers love to say to the gold medal winners, how does it feel? So let me just give you your stats of the season. As I can understand Star Mazda in the championships, relatively complicated point scoring system, but 6 wins, 8 poles, 10 fastest laps. Very impressive, and leading the championship pretty handsomely.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome, especially like the last 3 rounds on the street tracks. It's just been unbelievable. We had a good run going, and I think we won 4 of the last 6, and we've had a ton of fastest laps. So yeah, it couldn't really have gone much better, to be honest. I mean, there's a few which slipped away, but in terms of what we expected and what we've got out of this season, it's been great. It's been great.
You get a point for pole and fastest lap, and I see that at the 6 wins you've had, you also got pole and fastest lap that weekend as well. So you've had 6 clean sweeps as well. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, we've been. We've been on the street tracks in particular. The guys have done Team Pelfrey have done a really good job with the car. All the winter testing we did and the structure we did it in has really enabled us to be strong in those sort of circuits. And to have dominated 6 races is a pretty good feeling.
Jack, when we last spoke to you, it was after Barber Motorsports Park, where you had a win and a second, I think. And the next race, I think Lucas Oil Raceway, was an oval. So can you just talk us through how ovals have been going for you and your impression of ovals?
Yeah, they're tricky and completely different to anything I've done before. And the 2 ovals we did one at Lucas Oil, which is the track in Indianapolis, and then we did another at Iowa Speedway. And in themselves, they were 2 completely different types of circuits and races. Iowa was effectively like a super speedway for us. It was nearly flat out all of the way. Well, in qualifying and in practice it was flat out all the way around. In the race there's a couple of lifts, but Lucas Oil was a circuit where you were lifting quite a lot, and they're both really tricky. In terms of getting up to speed, I found like to actually get down to a lap time, it was relatively it was not easy, but it was you could pick it up quite quickly. But the racing side of things was something I found a lot more difficult, and I still think that at the end of even at the end of the Iowa race, I could, there's a lot to improve in terms of my racecraft on an oval, because it's a completely different style of racing. You've really got to trust the guys around you who you're racing, and the way you position your car and stuff like that's really different to a sort of road course driving. So I mean, yeah, the racing side of things is really different, and it was a big experience.
Would it be fair to say then that you were leaving a little bit of margin, given the fact that obviously at this level, this feeder championship as Star Mazda is, you shouldn't necessarily trust everybody around you?
Yeah, that's exactly what that was my mindset. Especially, it wasn't that I wasn't being aggressive, but I certainly think that there's that you have to give them some room, because like you say, it's not IndyCar, it's not Formula One, it's everybody's still learning, so it's important to I think to just to assure your own yourself a finish to give that bit of room.
And how, just going on about speedways and the super speedway, how out of its depth, if you like, was the Star Mazda car? You say it was easy flat, but was it easy flat for everybody? And was it possible still to be slow, even though you were flat everywhere?
Oh yeah, it was flat. I mean, easy flat's definitely not the word I should have probably used, but in qualifying it was flat. We had a car which was flat, comfortable. In the race, I think everybody was lifting. So it was tricky. It was like, we had to fine tune the car all the way through the weekend so that we could get flat at both ends of the circuits. And I don't think everybody was flat, if I'm being honest. And it was a testament to the car we brought to the circuit, because it was it was set up perfect. You really need a good balance, a car which you trust on an oval. As soon as you don't have that confidence, then it's you're sat having a few moments. It's pretty sketchy. So we certainly had a really good car at that circuit, and it was difficult.
Then back to road courses, and you've had a great time in Canada. I think you won both Toronto rounds, you won one of the Edmonton rounds. So just tell us a little bit about those 2 circuits.
No, it was great. Especially, I had a big accident in the Iowa race, and we actually lost the championship lead at that round. And that was a bit of a bitter pill to swallow, because we were running in a podium position and looking set to sort of maybe eke out a bit of a gap. And then we had to regroup and sort of re-energize the whole team.
What caused the shunt?
It was actually a failure on the right rear of the car. We don't know exactly what it was, because the car was such a mess after the race, but I felt a vibration on the the back straight, and as I turned in, kept it pinned, and it just went under, and the car hit the wall. So that was a big accident, but it was just one of those freak things, really, and everybody's had a bit of bad luck. So I was kind of glad to have got that one out of the way. It was I kind of knew already going into the corner that there was something wrong, and obviously you don't lift your foot off the gas around there, and after I'd hit the wall, it was just testament to how safe these cars are, really, though, that you can hit the wall. So there's no time to slow down. I guess the impact was probably around 140 into the wall, and testament to the series and the car that I just jumped out, and I was still in good condition.
Did you have any time to do anything with the steering, to flick the car to hit the wall at some sort of angle that was going to be okay?
I didn't really have any time to even think. What happened was the wheel went underneath the car, and the car sort of lifted into the air a little bit, and then I did like 360s and then hit the wall. So it all happened so quick, and with the car sort of lifting off the ground as well, it was
no control at all.
Yeah, it was gone.
So after that, brilliant to bounce back at Toronto with those 2 wins.
Yeah, really. I think everybody in the team was so fired up to go back to these sort of circuits were the ones we knew we'd be strong on, and we went to Toronto, and from the off in practice we were really good, and then we knew qualifying we were going to be in with a good shot, and then one thing just led to another, and it was really a perfect weekend. There was a lot of safety cars in the races and stuff like that, and it wasn't without its fair share of sort of like events throughout the races, but just managed to bring it home in the end. We actually nearly, if it had been a few laps longer in the second race, we'd have probably been in quite big trouble because we had a flat tyre come the end of the race.
Really?
So yeah, we picked up a puncture and behind the safety car over somebody's debris, so we were quite lucky there. But in terms of the performance of the car all weekend was just perfect, and when it was just one of them weekends where everything came together, and we were just able to just pick up all the points, and it was fantastic way to fun.
And we should mention here, for the benefit of European viewers, that you're on Goodyear tyres. Indeed, they're a sponsor of the championship. Very unusual to hear the Goodyear name at all in motor racing circles in Europe, but nice to hear it nonetheless, because they've got a great racing pedigree, and Goodyear love their racing. I would think you've probably got a good relationship with your race engineers and the guys there.
Yeah, no, I think I really like the tyre. It's quite peaky in its performance, as in especially when you go out for a qualifying run, you've only got a few set of laps to go do a good time, and then in the race it's just about perfect for Star Mazda in the way that you have to slightly manage the tyres, but it's not there's not massive degradation or anything like that. It's manageable, but you've got to have the car right, and it makes the driver and the team sort of have to work hard to if you want a result, you've got to look after your tyres.
Good. Then Jack Edmonton, and then the big one, Trois Rivieres, synonymous really with Gilles Villeneuve, James Hunt, Patrick Tambay, all the great Formula One drivers, not all, but many of them raced in Trois Rivieres, raved about it. Your view of Trois Rivieres, and you won from the pole, first race, got to point that out.
Yeah, that was an awesome event. That was probably one of my favourite of the year. The atmosphere was great. The circuit's good, really good as well. It's tight, it's twisty. It's probably the most technical track we've been to this year. It's actually only like a minute long in a Mazda car, but they've managed to fit a lot of track into quite a small space, and it's really exciting to drive. A typical street circuit, and the entire town loves the event. It all shuts down for it, and it was probably the best event we've done this year, I think, and for us as well, it was one of our strongest events. I think perhaps it was maybe our strongest event of the year in terms of pace so far. So it was a great weekend for us, up to the point the second race, but overall we had a fantastic time up there. It was brilliant.
Well, I didn't really want to talk about the second race, but I guess we'd better. You were leading it, sudden rainstorm, they stopped, they put you on wets, and then it didn't look as if you were quite as quick as you wanted to be, and then you locked up and went off, I guess, on a slow corner. Did you, under braking? Yeah,
it was obviously a strange race. I mean, in the dry we were quick, and that's what it had been all weekend. And then they came in. We had to all bolt wet tyres on and go back out, so it shook it all up a little bit. And I struggled for pace in the opening laps, to be honest, lacking a little bit of grip, and didn't quite have the pace I needed to win. And in hindsight, it probably would have been better to have backed it off a little bit, and collected a good all the points.
Why do you think you did struggle for a bit of pace? Because for sure you're quick in the wet. I mean, apart from anything else, you've got a lot of experience in the wet racing over here. But equally, I'm sure you're quick in the wet anyway in terms of your talent. What was wrong with the car, do you think?
I mean, in terms of like my wet's been my strongest sort of, I guess, track conditions since I came into car racing, you shone in the wet. But it's like anything really. I mean, the biggest things, obviously, the tyre pressure, and obviously all the things you can do with the car and whatnot. And I don't think we had a bad car, but perhaps the other guys, they slightly maybe got a better call on it this time than us. And yeah, they were able to get on it quicker than me, and they did a better job. So fair play to them. And I think it was one of those races where you sort of had to, it was a bit. Well, I mean, we don't like to ever say it's a lottery, but when there's a 5-minute shootout and it's wet and you've got to guess all of your setup, it's it's never an easy situation. Fair play to the other guys, did a good job. But
well, and also credit to you. You kept going, I think, didn't you? You finished 12th or something.
Yeah, just about managed to hold to the finish. I mean, obviously I made a big mistake, and really, felt sorry for all the guys for that. But as soon as I hit the wall, my engineer was like, reverse it out, let's get to the finish. Hobbled to the finish with broken suspension and a broken front wings. So it was entertaining, but overall it was a great weekend. The team did we had a great car all weekend, and if it wasn't for my little mistake at the end, we'd have been in a great position. But it was one of them things, I guess.
And again, you're able to show your class. And what's it been like, again, coming back to the UK now? Do you feel that people are starting to take some notice of what you're doing over here, first of all, and then we can talk about how it's going in America? Yeah,
I mean, I've not spent too much time back in the UK. This is only my third day back. But I mean, from what I've heard, there's been quite a bit of publicity over here and stuff like that. And it's good that people have been taking interest in what I've done since I've switched over to the States as well. And hopefully it'll inspire more people to make a similar choice, and hopefully we can it'll just pump the whole Mazda road to Indy up in the future.
And just to recap, if you do go on to win the championship, and let's hope you do, that does give you a leg up into Indy Lights next year, is that right?
That's right, yeah. It's full scholarship to go race Indy Lights for the championship winner, which is probably the main reason we came over here, because it shows some sort of path to some target. If you were good enough, and if the team was good enough, you had the opportunity to win the championship. Then there was sort of a reward for it. Whilst in Europe you can win things and still it doesn't. There's no certainty to what you do in the year after.
Absolutely, yeah, no question about that. Well, Jack, again, congratulations on all that success, and for a rookie to go over to America and do as well as you are on street courses and ovals in a completely different series, just outstanding work on your behalf, and obviously the team too, Team Pelfrey, doing a brilliant job. So congratulations and thanks for talking to us, and we'll catch up with you again. And 3 weekends to go, right?
Yeah, 3 weekends to go, 5 races. We're in a great position. So I mean, if I know that I've got the team and the car underneath me, so really it's now my responsibility to go and go wrap this thing up, and hopefully we can go on to Indy Lights next year. But there's a long way to go, and do it best in the last few races for sure.
Very best of luck, Jack. Thanks for talking to us. Enjoy your time back in England.
Yeah, thanks, Peter.
Thank you.